The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority has clarified issues concerning the nationwide supply of petroleum products and claims that the agency is trying to scuttle the operations of Dangote Refinery. The Chief Executive Officer of NMDPRA spoke on the heels of a meeting between stakeholders in the oil and gas sector and military heads on ending crude oil theft in the Niger Delta region. He says Dangote Refinery is still at the pre-commissioning stage and the nation cannot rely heavily on the refinery to bridge the country's supply gap. He also speaks on the quality of AGO products from Dangote and other refineries.
There are a lot of concerns about supply of petroleum products nationwide and the claims by some media houses that we're trying to scuttle Dangote Refinery. That is not so. Dangote Refinery is still in the pre-commissioning stage. It has not been licensed yet. We haven't licensed them yet. They are still in pre-commissioning. I think they're about 45% completion rather. So we cannot rely heavily on one refinery to feed the nation because Dangote is requesting that we should suspend or stop all importation of petroleum products, especially AGO and jet kero, and direct all marketers to the refinery. That is not good for the nation in terms of energy security, and that is not good for markets because of monopoly. So in terms of quality, currently the AGO quality in terms of sulfur is the lowest as far as West African requirement of 50 ppm. Dangote Refinery, as well as some modular refineries, like Walter Smith's Refinery, other refinery, they produce between 650 to 1,200 ppm. So in terms of quality, their quality is much, much inferior to the imported quality.
Let's have this conversation with Godwin Ibe, an oil and gas analyst who joins me live here from our Lagos studios. Good to see you, Godwin, and thanks for staying the course. Quickly here, looking at what's happening and the conversation.
Thank you for having me here.
Okay, let's allow you to delve in. First, your thoughts on this back and forth between Dangote Refinery and the Nigerian Petroleum Company Limited and even NMDPRA.
Yes, thank you very much for having me here. I would like to look at things a bit more passionately rather than toing and froing with accusations, because the issue is ours. The problem is ours as a nation, as a people. By and large, if it goes wrong, it affects everyone. It affects our economy, it affects the nation. So I would suggest very strongly that we itemize the issues, and then try to look at them passionately with a view to resolving whatever is wrong, rather than blames and counter-blames, accusations and counter-accusations that will not really lead us anywhere. After all, we're all supposed to be working toward the same objectives of having energy security. So if there are issues with Dangote Refinery or the quality of products, or there are issues with the NPDRC, I think we should come to a round table and discuss them passionately with a view to finding resolutions, not with a view to finding who is wrong or who is right. At any rate, there will always be issues in whatever we are doing. There will always be conflicts. So conflict resolution and issues resolution, in my view, is what should be critical to us as a nation, as a people, and have a win-win situation. If you ask me, that would be my strong recommendation. Thank you.
Ibe, I think you're not far from what Nigerians want or Nigerians are looking to. First, to see how we can plug the leakages, the loopholes, pursue the thieves and stop the thievery, and secondly, ensure that there is more than enough here for Nigerians. So how do you think the country, now that different agencies, security, oil and gas, and of course the new entrant Dangote Refinery are all speaking the same language now to see how much we can get here in Nigeria. how can we ensure that it moves from conversation level to actualities?
Yes. First and foremost, I lost you now.
No, go ahead. I think I
I'm
can
not
hear
hearing you anymore.
No, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. In all fairness, I think the determination and the drive and the achievement of Dangote Refinery, I think it should be commended because it's a huge project. It's something that we need in this country, and it's something that if it works out well, it will be beneficial to us. You know, so that's on one hand, and then there is also other refineries, Arade Refinery, Watersmith, and other upcoming ones, you know, that are being put forward at various stages of development. So I think we should focus very strongly and very passionately on achieving all that, you know, so that we can have energy security in Nigeria. And it's really a shame, permit me to say, that we are one of the biggest producers of crude oil in the world, first in Africa and about 6 or 7 in the world, and then we're importing products, petroleum products. It doesn't tally one little bit. So we should put all hands should be on deck, you know, to try and find a solution. And I think we are inching there gradually, except that we have to put in more effort. We have to do things a little bit more differently so that we can get to a stage where we'll be self-sufficient in petroleum products that we need in this country. And of course, gas also is an issue. So I think all hands should be on deck, if you ask me, to achieve that.
Let's close on this. One other aspect which we're yet to get your comment or expert's opinion on has to do with oil theft. Are we truly ready to make sure that this is past us?
Well, oil theft is a major issue. I lost you now.
I can hear you. If you can hear me, just go ahead then.
Yeah, oil theft definitely is a major issue in our national life. Many decades ago, when we started in the early 70s, there was far more sanity, there was far more decorum, there was far more decency in and around the country, in and around the environment. And things like oil theft were very minimal. But with the things going wrong in Nigeria generally, and then with the exposure of the communities to poverty on one hand, while they see in other parts of the country, people are living in opulence and affluence. Meanwhile, the oil is coming from their environment. So that kind of get them quite upset. And that is why most of the thefts, you know, are going on in the oil-producing areas, of course, aided and abetted by some officials that are supposed to be protecting the facilities. You know, it's really unfortunate. And I think all the security agencies, you know, the communities should come together to try and find a solution. And that brings me to a remembrance of an event that is upcoming 13th of August to 15th of August. I think it's been championed by the Chief of Defense Staff and other service chiefs, Chief of Naval Staff, Chief of Air Staff, Chief of Army Staff. They are having a 3-day conference, which they have been having for the past 7 years. But the second day, which is 14, is totally dedicated to oil and gas facility security. So I think all people should come to discuss and see how we can collectively find a solution to all theft. And there has to be sincerity, there has to be honesty, there has to be integrity, for us to be able to achieve that. So it's an ongoing battle, it's an ongoing struggle, and I believe that with determination and sincerity of purpose, we should be able to inch towards solution and possibly find a solution to, to oil theft, which is really having a very negative effect on our national life. If we don't have all the thefts and we don't have all the security issues, we should be able to produce, as I speak, up to 2.4 million barrels of oil a day. But now I think it's 1.3 or thereabout. We can't even meet our OPEC quota, which is really unfortunate.
Well,
so all hands have to be on deck.
Yeah, so let's see how it goes. All hands must be on deck. It's a fine place for us to leave it. Apologies, we are really out of time. I'd like to thank you for your time, Godwin Ibe.